morning from ThinkTech Hawaii, cold green on a beautiful Hawaiian morning. I am joined by Hina, Ioane, Sano, Tanna, and the Honorable Dr. Gail Grabowsky, all from Chaminade, and we'll be talking about businesses that are very involved in the sustainability project. Good morning again. We think of people who green as maybe government types, student types, but no, there are many businesses, including some of Hawaii's largest businesses, that have immersed themselves in the sustainability projects to green the planet, reduce carbon dioxide, increase resource efficiency. And here to kick things off is Dr. Gail Grabowsky, who has more titles at Chaminade than anybody can shake a stick at. But right now, she's got her green lay on. Take it away, Dr. G.
Hey, thank you, Howard. So last week or in our last show, we were cameoing green businesses that were global. And so we decided at the end of the show, let's talk about Hawaii. And a few of our examples were also present in Hawaii or were here. But let's help shoppers to know what kind of places they can go to. And we're talking about restaurants, hotels, businesses that supply products, services. There are some wonderful websites out there that list Hawaii's green businesses, and we've vetted them. Hina and Sano are environmental studies and science majors, and I direct a United Nations Sustainable Development Seafall Center, which is at Chaminade, and our goal is to help achieve sustainability globally through having curriculum and activities that relate to the Sustainable Development Goals, of which about 4 or 5 relate to business, good work and decent pay, responsible production and consumption, sustainable cities. So the show today is really in line with the goals of the United Nations, and we're doing it locally, which is the goal of the Seafall Center, and locally means the whole Pacific. So we probably could do one more show and say, let's go out into the Pacific and see what businesses are out there, because we know of a few. But to start, we're going to be all over the board showing you big businesses and small businesses, all of which at least they may be centered in Hawaii, they may be elsewhere. Some of them are really all in, so that if you look at them, their mission is really in line with, there's a nice list of the goals for the Hawaii business. Let me open up this wonderful flyer that I'm looking at just to not miss any of the Hawaii Green Business Program identifies businesses in Hawaii that are green, that are focusing on sustainability, and they have a nice long list. And the things that they're looking for, which are totally in line with the United Nations, are, does the business try to do energy conservation, above and beyond compliance with whatever laws and regulations are out there? Do they try to reduce waste? Are they concerned about pollution prevention? Are they conserving water? Do they do anything that helps preserve natural resources? Sometimes a whole business is almost about preserving natural resources, but sometimes it's totally auxiliary to what their business is, but they care about it. And so they're doing carbon offsets that are legitimate, or they're just really being responsible in the way that they're building or having green spaces or putting native plants in, etc. Are they involved in the community? Do they allow the community to help? Do they educate their tourists, for example? Do they educate the people that come to the restaurant about, this is why we're a sustainable restaurant. We are really conscious about the fish that you're eating. We're really conscious about the utensils that you're using, not to create pollution that's plastic, because we know that's a huge problem. And are they involved culturally in cultural preservation? Is the food grown locally? Is the food traditionally Polynesian or Hawaiian? So the Green Business Program actually assessed all those, and we're going to share some of the businesses that they selected today. But I would like to have Sano and Hina do the first presentations, because I've talked long enough. So guys, which ones did you find that you really loved? And we know there are more than we can mention, which is a really good thing. Hina, what did you find? Yeah.
Well, to start off start us off, we were talking about the businesses that got the Green Business Award. And the first one that I found really interesting was King's Landing by Hilton Grand Vacations Resort. They are located on Waikoloa Beach on Hawaii Island. And they just take really small steps to make changes over time that has a big impact because their numbers are so big. Like they're converting their lights from CFL to LED, and it's like one per room. So that's about, they have 435 rooms. So if you look at that, it's a small thing to do, but on a big scale for them. They also have energy efficiency land commitments. So they're replacing the thermostats and they're installing energy efficient heaters for their pools. They have mechanical efficiency commitments, like annual cleaning of their heat exchangers to maximize their efficiencies. And also their house laundry is updated with VFD for washers and motors that are now star rated, Energy Star rated, which is also energy efficient. And then their water management. Their guest room water temperature is set to 127 to prevent Legionella from growing. That's like bacteria. Legionella. And those are just some of the things that I thought were really interesting. They have a lot of little things that they're working on, and it does make a big difference.
Very cool.
All right. And let me just put in a plug for LED lights. The older screw-in fluorescent lights, the curly Q lights, they last around 8,000 hours of burn time. The LEDs that replace them, number one, reduce the wattage by at least 40% and have a 25,000 hour life, meaning they last 3 times as long. And there was a lot of energy and a lot of resources that went into making those LEDs, but they last 3 times as long. There's great resource efficiency. And once they reach the end of life, they do need to go to the landfill, but for every one of them, 3 curly Q lights had to go into the landfill, plus any fluorescent light has mercury in it, which is not so good. So just an extra plug for LEDs there. Thank you.
Yes, added.
And you know, the quality of the light from LEDs is awesome. Yeah, when the CFLs came out, I was like, wow, that looks like the blue light. You know, it's not warm. So and the LEDs last forever. Yeah, I think, yeah, it's a good thing. Sano, what you got?
One of the businesses that I found was Lonnie Shades. It is located in Ala Moana. It's a local company that has come up with an alternative for plastic sunglasses. For example, Lonnie Shades creates sunglasses made out of wood, including bamboo, koso, it's a type of hardwood, or skateboard wood, which it's like designed for sailing or paddling, polarized. So it's like an all around really durable sunglasses. And plus $1 from each sale supports One Tree Planet and the Surfrider Foundation, which are 2 very really good foundations in the environment. So yeah, Lonnie Shades.
That's very cool. Are they? Sano, when you looked at them, do you feel that they're? I bet they're smart looking too. I mean, wood glasses. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, the design is nice, and actually, I do paddling, and a couple of my friends have these shades, and they go out with it, so it's durable.
And nobody's aware of it like paddlers. I paddled for a long time myself, and you're seeing the bags out in the water. Yeah, you're seeing the floating stuff. So that's great. That's a great one. I'd like to, Hina, were you going to talk about Outrigger?
Yeah, but you can too, Dr. Gail.
Okay, I just add that some of the hotels are doing really major stuff, and I was so impressed with the list from Outrigger Hotels, and it's this in the same theme as Hina was saying, as some of their like many categories: solid waste reduction, water reduction, creative things, donation efforts. Reusing materials, so finding, when you have waste, figuring out some way to not make it an end of the pipe in the landfill thing. Emissions reduction, energy conservation is always a big one, and that gives me a chance to call out some of these things save an organization, a business, money, which is great, and we know that that's very incentivized in our modern capitalistic society. But some of these things also cost more for an organization or a business. And so those guys really deserve kudos for saying, look, the word cost can be much more than just money. It can be the cost of the environment. So we're going to pay a little bit more, optionally for whatever it is, whatever product we use or consume, in order to be more sustainable. And so those kind of choices always really highlight it within me and the students that this is very much a demonstration of a commitment, because it's a commitment that may even cost the organization a little bit more money-wise, but it also costs the earth much less. Mm-hmm. So Outrigger did some things like having a bike repair kit available for employees in case that the employees bike to and from work. And they have a nice bicycle storage area for the guests and the employees. So these are little things, but they also imply that we're encouraging you to be able to bike to work. Meanwhile, the city's doing some things to make the road safer to bikers. Things that we can kind of expect, like leaving air conditionings off when rooms are unoccupied. That's awesome. Little things, like the one that got me was using rechargeable batteries in the remotes for the televisions, because Outrigger has tons of rooms. So like Hina was saying, those are little things that add up because there's so many rooms. Also some very major things like considering water waste and water efficiency, I should say water consumption efficiency, and reducing solid waste. One of the major ways that businesses are reducing solid waste, which we're all experiencing, whether we're a business or not, is going electronic, going paperless. Now, the next thing will be we need to consider things like recycling the metals that are used in computers, since we're all going to be on computers, as well as the energy that's used to run our computers. Is that a renewable form of energy? But kudos to Outrigger right along there with King's Landing for being a really committed to sustainability hotel. And that's that one for me. What you got next?
I just want to add on to what Dr. Gail was saying. Outrigger is really good. They're really trying to make some changes, and slowly they are changing their business overall. I just want to mention some like bigger things, because Dr. Gail did mention like specific things that they're changing, like they're providing bike repair kits, and that's something that's like, I haven't heard that from other companies before. But some other things that they're doing that's kind of on like a wider range scale that other people may also be doing or can do. They're putting glass, plastic, and paper bins all over, like in common areas. So when people recycle, they can put it in the right bin. They also purchase laundry detergents that have little or no phosphates, which is really good for the environment, especially. And then they also recycle their toner cartridges for copiers and printer machines, which is something I haven't heard, but I'm sure it can be a common thing in big businesses, since we do print and communicate that way a lot. And then another business that I was taking a look at was actually it's in the venue category rather than hotel and resort category. It's the Hawaii Convention Center. I really enjoy them. I go there for a lot of different events, and it's a really beautiful place. For their efforts, they have energy conservation and efficiency, water conservation, air quality, and then waste reduction and recycling, and then event practices. Oh. Some of their event practices are like event generated waste, such as core boards and displays and all of that are donated to local organizations that service those in need. Another one is that their convention trade show giveaways are repurposed and donated to local schools and service organizations. So you see, nothing is going to waste here. All of it is repurposed or donated, and you're able to use it further and along its life.
Mhm.
Awesome. You know what else they're doing, Hina? They're using Hawaii Legacy Reforestation, which is a company, not a company, it's a 501(c). They have planted 600,000 koa trees. So they're doing carbon offsets. Yeah, I just met with them. I've been inviting them into my classes to say, what a cool idea, reforesting. And they plant other species, it's not a koa farm. They're trying to do reforestation. But the convention center used them when I was reading about it. So I went right with you.
Nice, that's great.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then some of their sustainability, over here it says sustainability purchasing. So the center encourages a buy local procurement policy whenever they can. And then this extends to Hawaii sourced food products and items that are created in Hawaii, which I think is really good. It's like local businesses standing up for local businesses. So it's really great. I like it.
That's cool. Hui.
You got
Sano.
anything, Sano?
Yeah. So as mentioned before in the earlier ThinkTech, Kodo Brewing Company, which has already like significantly reduced their carbon footprint in their mainland operations, will actually start manufacturing products in Hawaii, eliminating shipping for the first time it opened, which is a huge thing since it reduces CO2 emissions. And their new technology for their new manufacture warehouse comes with reduced water usage and just increased renewable energy, because they will have like solar panels all throughout the roofs. Them actually creating their products, for example, their alcoholic beverages, there would be energy generators when like it's churning. So like they will also be getting energy while creating their products. And yeah, it's just an overall, like they're just trying to strive for a better environmental friendly workspace. So
And
kind of
Sano, how about, I know that when you make beer, there's a residue product. Can they do anything with that residue, to your knowledge?
I'm pretty sure that they sell that to a third party company, and I don't know exactly what they use it for, but they do something with it, so it doesn't go to waste.
Yeah, thank you.
Hey, speaking of food, so let's give some call outs to the restaurants that could be kind of, fast food plate lunch places that are using, responsible utensils and wrap. Now I know we have a law that requires places to use biodegradable containers for the food, so that's happening. But some go beyond the call and really are using, knives, forks, and spoons or chopsticks made out of renewable, biodegradable materials. So that's really cool. We actually at Chaminade in our cafeteria now, the students and I have one. We have meetings where we get a container that's reusable plastic, and you can take it back to your dorm room or your office, and then you bring it back. And so there's no waste disposal at all, right? Because there's no takeout container that even is a biodegradable perishable. Because I'm going to bring up another little company that really is helping to solve a big problem, is Ziploc bags. Now we all love our Ziploc bags, and they're sold as disposable. I have some Ziploc bags. I'll sound like a crazy lady here, but I wash them because I've learned. I have a Ziploc bag. I swear it's 5 years old. You know, it was a thick one. And I'm like, this is just unbelievable that we're treating this like a single use item. And so I vowed, I'm sorry, Ziploc company, but to never buy another Ziploc bag. And there are some bags out there that are made out of materials like silicone that you can use forever and you wouldn't throw it away. But there's a little local company that I believe is elsewhere called Mele, M-E-L-E, and they sell these wraps that are made out of beeswax and cotton and plant resin. And they're really cute because they'll have like pictures of tomatoes on them. And you just wrap your item and then you can reuse it many, many times. So it replaces saran wrap, or a Ziploc bag for storing things. And it's very washable. So not hot washable, but soap and cool water washable. So, some solutions to something that we haven't cracked that nut yet of what kind of bags to use. There's another company called Keep It Simple, which has some stores in Hawaii. And I encourage everybody who feels like I do about your laundry detergent container. You know, that thing is an amazing plastic container if you buy the typical types. But at Keep It Simple, you buy a glass jar and you go and refill it over and over. And I'm slowly transferring my life to completely soaps that I go and refill. And I wish that we'd have tons of stores with that option because we know these products inside work, but the containers they're in is the problem. So look for places like Mele or Keep It Simple that allows you not to have worlds of plastic you throw away or plastic bags. So we're in a transition on this one, aren't we?
Wow. And we are beginning to get to Pauhana time, so I'm sure there's some more businesses that need a good shout out from either Hina or Sano.
One last business that I wanted to mention was the Westin Hotels and Resorts. They're really good. So the one specifically that I'm talking about is located on Ka'anapali Beach. Sorry, I wasn't sure. And they have a lot of specific goals that they're working on. Like they have water conservation, reef protection, community involvement, and cultural awareness. So for their reef protection, they actually, during construction time, they constructed a stormwater management program to make sure that it protects the reef from natural, agricultural, and industrial pollution. So that I thought was really good. I thought it was good of them to get ahead and get a start before they even have the business up and running, you know. Yeah. And then for community involvement, they do a lot of walks. They did the charity walk for donor and participant. They have certified ocean-friendly partnerships. And then they also do Blue Ina donor and participant for the Trilogy Maui. Mm-hmm. And then they also do activities and like they're thinking of doing seminars with large cultural leaders and just to like educate others on what they're trying to move towards and their future goals. And then, yeah, they have a lot of other awards, but I thought the Westin was great.
Yeah. And, you know, some of these resorts have golf courses, and what is happening on this island anyway is that they are using golf courses take a heck of a lot of water, and what they're doing is reusing water that is not fit for drinking, but it is perfectly fit for agricultural or grass growing uses. And there's little signs on the faucet saying do not consume, but you reusing water that way for golf courses.
Yes, good. That's a great point.
Sano, any parting businesses that you want to give a shout out to?
Yeah, to go off of what Dr. Gail said, for Keep It Simple, there's actually more stores. For example, Protea Zero Waste, which is pretty much basically the same thing as Keep It Simple. You can bring in your own containers, you can refill it. They do like body oils, face scrubs, and stuff like that. And there's also one located in Kauai, Refill Hale, which, it just gives you like a lot of different ways to reduce plastic in your life. For example, they have conditioner bars or like sustainable laundry pods. And yeah, so just the simple things that you don't really think about, there's definitely alternative ways to keep it more sustainable. So yeah.
Beautiful.
The one I'm thinking of, a set of businesses we didn't mention that maybe it's another show, Howard, is businesses that are really ecotourism or really trying to educate green. I know there's some hiking companies out there that really do a beautiful job. So some of the hotels, that's when Hina was sharing, they're raising awareness that gets taken back to other places because, with Hawaiian values and being out here in the Pacific where we're also aware of plastic waste, we really can be a center of education for people that come visit, and so many come visit. So that to me it would be another fun topic. All the ecotourism companies out there, companies that show people how to change their behaviors for sustainability.
Yeah, I think with all the major hotels, there's been a big push for cultural awareness. And with the cultural awareness comes energy efficiency and resource efficiency also.
Yeah. So we touched on so many businesses today that are like the start of a wave, that I still feel, I hate to say it, they probably won't like me for saying it, but I feel like a hippie when I go into this, like, keep it simple in the nice stores. But I'm like, that's just you because you're old and you're changing over from something that, like Sano said, you just don't even think about it. But now, once I go in there, I think this giant, detergent container is going to be on the planet for 1,000 years, unless it's recycled. And it's difficult in Hawaii to recycle your plastics, because we're out here. So we need to look for other solutions. And it's how it is. It's not habit at first, but then things become habit. And once they're habit, they don't even bother us anymore. Like canvas shopping bags. Nobody's beefing about that anymore. We acted like it would be so hard. And it's like, it's not hard, they're better, But that transition is always interesting psychologically. Yeah,
that's an excellent example, Doctor, because, well, you and I remember the day when supermarkets no longer, and places like Wong's Drugs no longer just use bags, their own bags, willy-nilly. If you wanted a bag from them, by George, you paid for it.
Yes.
And there was a protest and people forgot. But now when I'm walking into a supermarket, everybody is carrying their own bag.
Yes.
It just has become habit now.
Yeah.
And
but the transition is always, we think it's, oh my goodness, this is going to be hard. And it's not, it's hard in the process, but so, yeah.
And after a while, you just carry a couple of extra bags in the trunk of your car, and you start walking in. Whoops, forgot my bag.
Right, and they don't break if they're wet. All kinds of little advantages. So it's that human inertia to be comfortable. Yeah, we get comfortable in a habit, and then the change is tricky. But not to the young guys. The young guys are way better at it because that's why we need you young guys. To say this is crazy, X, Y, and Z.
And on that very cheery note, we need to bid fond adieu. Sano, Dr. G, thank you very, very much. You've been very inspiring. And I am going to encourage people in the green businesses to watch this program because, as you know, it is archived. And so your audience level will rise way, way, way up. And some of the businesses will want to see this and say, yes, thank you for recognizing us. So on that very cheery note, ThinkTech Hawaii Code Green, Sano, Dr. G, thank you so much. See you next time.
Thank you so much for watching ThinkTech Hawaii. If you like what we do, please like us and click the subscribe button on YouTube and the follow button on Vimeo. You can also follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn, and donate to us at thinktechhawaii.com. Mahalo.